Hello, everybody. This is Peter, KJ5AJB, here with Ham Radio Crib Notes. Got another episode for you today. Today, we're going to work on installing OpenWebRX Plus on my Mac Mini that I have Ubuntu Linux running on, which I had said I was going to do. I will show you how I fumble through this, and I'll be popping back and forth in the video here because I'll be using 2 keyboards and 2 mice, so you'll have to bear with me on that because I know I'm going to grab the wrong one, so we'll go with that. But anyways, another hot one here, Mississippi. We had a couple cool days over the weekend, but it's going to be 92 today, so get you a nice cold glass of iced tea and let's go. All right, let's see. First, channel updates. We're doing really good. As you can see on my little tote board behind me, we're up to 416 subscribers, and I really appreciate that. We just thank you all for that. Thank you for the channel support. I try and kick out a video once a week if I can, but sometimes I miss a week. So I'll be trying to come up with some other ideas on what to make videos on, and we'll go from there. But anyways, let's start off with don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, share it with your buddies. So we'll go with start off with some news here. Let's see, this is from Amateur Radio Daily. I think that one of the big events coming up here is August 16th and 17th is the International Lighthouse Lightship Weekend. There'll be over 500 lighthouse entries on the air, so that'll be something if you want to get some more contacts that way for your logbook. Other thing is Middle Tennessee has a ham quest on July 19th. Not much else I see on their news there, but we'll go from there. So on my our install today, and how I fumbled through this to get OpenWebRX Plus on my Mac Mini with running Linux on it. I'm running Ubuntu Linux on it. I did an install on it. I mentioned that. And in my last video, I linked a video to how to do that on a Mac if you want to do it. So that's up to you. I am no Linux expert, so I kind of fumbled through with this. But one of the things I'm going to go through here, I'm going to switch over to my Linux desktop here, and we'll go with that. So first and foremost, you want to make sure your system is up to date. So on my system, it actually has a, already did it, grabbed the wrong mouse. It actually has an app for that, which is this one here, Software Updater, that I have highlighted there. And I've already done that on mine for today. One of the things I learned with the RTL SDR, because it's a USD device, it creates a USB TTY connection in your Linux system for your serial, USB to serial. One of the things I found when I was doing the Cubic SDR install was that you don't automatically get access to that. You have to grant yourself a privilege to do it. So one of the things you have to do is you have to type in a sudo usermod -a small a large G dialout username, and the username is going to be what your username is on the system. And throw that up on the screen there real quick so you can see that. And then we'll slide her on out of there. If you don't know what your username is, if you look at my terminal window here, my username is right before the @ symbol there. That's what you put in there for that. I had a heck of a time with that with cubic SDR, trying to figure out why I could not access the RTLSD on it. So then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the OpenWebRX Plus site. Let me see here. That'll be that one there. So I need to switch screens to screen share. So this is the version I'm using, the 24.04. That's the version of Ubuntu I'm running. They have one for the 22.04 on there also, as well as other installations you can do. One of the things I found with this is the way you can't just copy all of this and paste it into your terminal window in one get-go. So my suggestion is that you take and paste it into a notepad, and that will give you 3 lines here. And the first line sets you up with the I guess it's like a protective code, so you're downloading the right piece of software and you're adding the OpenWebRX site to your list, okay, of applications on your system. Then your second line here, oops, let me get that highlighted right. Second line here is going to let you do the actual update, and then after you do that, they suggest you do a sudo apt update with it, okay? The third thing I came across was you also need to do a install of OpenSSH server, and I have a site for that also, which goes through each step, tells you how to enable an OpenSSH server on Ubuntu. You follow these steps. You do an update on your system first, like they say. If you've already done that in this instance, what we're doing, you install the server, you enable the server, then you have to let your firewall, so you can have pass-through to the firewall on your server, and then you can call up a status on the service here. Okay, so you want to paste each one of them lines in your terminal window. I would suggest you do it into a notepad or text edit on your system, because sometimes you get the weird internet characters on there for the way they format on the web. This one here actually has a little box so you can copy it to the clipboard, but so you could open that up in your Firefox or whatever web browser you're using on your Linux distribution to do that. All right. So once you get all that in there, hopefully we should be ready to go on our OpenWebRX app. One thing I'm going to suggest you need to do is, after all of that, restart your system, because the OpenWebRX runs on boot up. So once you've installed it and all that, it's not actually running yet. So you need to reboot your system so it's running in the background. Then you can go to your web browser. Mine is Firefox, and I've already created a bookmark in here for mine, and this is my bookmark. So this is it. It's HTTP localhost port. See if I can get this to highlight. Localhost : port. The port number is 8073. That's basically to get you there. That's all you got to do to get there. You don't need to type in the frequency and all that stuff. So then generally the first time you run it, it'll say this page is not secure. So, and on all the SDR web pages I've come across, they all do that. So here I've got, I'm on the 40 meter band down here on the bottom right. And I've also, we're preset at about 7.3. So you can see these here. You can see different comms coming through. So I've got some sound there. You can't hear it, but I can for right now. When I access it from my computer itself, tap into the web server, I'll go ahead and get into that. But one of the first things you want to go and do is the settings here. It'll have you set up when you do the install, it'll have you set up an admin username and a password. So you'll go to your devices. Mine's an RTL SDR device. And I just left it with that default name. Enable this device. Keep it running all the time. Enable the AGC. It's got direct sampling I here. But I use, for most of my stuff, I use Q. I found that's what works with Cubic SDR anyway, so it works well with this too. And it'll go through here and show you all the stuff. And then you'll notice here, it's already got some preset profiles. 70 centimeters, 2 meters, 10 meters plus CB, 40 meters, 80 meters, 160 and AM broadcast. I created this 20 meter one on mine for me to mess around with. But under your profile, you can just create different, like under the RTL SDR profile here, you can just create different ones. This had a default name here. I just changed it to what I wanted. So that's apply and save. And then let's go back to here. So we know that guy's up and running in the background. So what I want to do now, let's see, let me see what other settings there are in here. Okay. General settings, you can go in here and set your call sign, where your receiver is, the elevation. I just put 20 feet for my antenna because it's on a 20-foot pole. Your admin, I didn't put anything in there yet. Your ITU region, which is, I put North and South America, which is region 2. My coordinates I put in here. And I don't know why it puts a photo title here of Panorama of Budapest. Who cares? So go back to settings again. You can edit your bookmarks in here. Demodulation and decoding. I left a lot of this at the defaults. So it's FFT size, AGC profile is fast, audio rate is 48 kHz, broadcast FM, I put 75 microseconds, Americas and South Korea. I don't know what that specifically has to do. And it's got some other stuff. You can click the decode. I'm not familiar with exactly what they all do. So like I said, I fumbled through this to get it working. Get a recording squelch, hang time, aircraft messages, different timeouts for those. paging messages, fax transmissions, image compression, WSJT decoders, and it's got all the FT4 set up in there. I don't see a FT8 in there though. That's kind of unusual. But anyways, that's what's in that setting. You can have a background to code for you. Oh, there's FT8 right there. Pick all of them. Spotting and reporting. APRS settings, PSK reporter, WhisperNet, MQTT, and it's got a rig control in there also, which I'm not using. And this is a feature report as it gets updated over the time. So I'm gonna get out of this one and then go to my my desktop and see if we can access this baby remotely. It's actually remotely within the house. So I want to do a new tab here. And I'm going to go to my bookmarks all the way down here. All right. Share my desktop again. So this is what pops up on most of these. This is not secure. So the continue. So you'll see here I have the IP address of my Mac Mini in there that's on my home network with the colon 8073. And it's an HTTPS connection. If you just try to do it HTTP, your browser will give you an error. Then once I got in there, I just basically created a bookmark. So you can see it running in the background. So in there, so I can just click start. And what are we on there? 7. I'm going to zoom in. I'll get some so I had somebody talking there, and now they've stopped. Let me zoom in some more, see what I can get here. I imagine there's probably, let's see, it's a 3 kHz step file. Let's jump down to 1 and see what happens. There we go. Yeah,
the grass is just bombed out. We haven't had rain in so long. It's just gone.
So that should be fun too. It's a little bit scratchy.
Yeah, that can be fun. I just got my little tractor going. I had a dry Velcro on it. What a pain in the neck. I had to take the gear off the steering wheel, lift the steering wheel, pop the clutch, take the belt off and run the clutch, take it off from the steering wheel.
So like, I have something up here that says about 2 million. He's pretty weak. I'll try this guy out. Go back to where I was. if we get any on Twitter. I'll start zooming in on it. There you go. 14.295. That's some stuff down there. So we've got pretty good success, so I think we've had a lot of work, so that's pretty cool. Anyway, I'm going to mute that, and we'll get out of that. We'll go back to Meet. So I hope you learned something from that. I'm going to post the links to these install pages and stuff so you can have those and you can fumble through it like I did. But I did get it to work. I guess for me, the next step would be to set up a permanent antenna for it by itself. But one of the things is the SDR I'm using is the one I used on my main radio for cubic SDR for my waterfall display. So I'll have to end up buying another one. I might buy the version 4 and use that on my radio. Might plug it in here too and play with it and see what happens. So we can see what happens from there. And then the other thing you have to do is, let me go to my notes here again. I think you have to open your, after you've enabled the server and all that stuff, you have to do a port forward on your router to 8073. And another good thing would be to set up a dedicated IP address for your device in the router. So if you decide to list it out into the public there, that everybody can access it and your IP address doesn't change when you switch some things around. So hope you all enjoyed that, and appreciate y'all watching again. And I'm going to try and work on some other ideas I can make some videos on for you. And in the meantime, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and I hope you enjoyed this. This is Peter, KJ5AJB 73s, folks.